Hello everybody. Well, we're well into fall and it's time for our annual persimmon hike where we go out and see if we can find some persimmons on some trees and then see what they look like when we open them up, what kind of little tool is inside the seed. And so we're taking you along with us. Thanks for coming. Well, we've had a lot of cold and ice and snow already, and the driveway has quite a bit of water and ice on it. And we even already got down to 6 degrees one morning, which is way colder than it should be for this time of year. The children made a little snowman in their yard yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before, but it's already fallen apart. I think we're going to warm up again, you know, maybe not even seasonably warm, maybe a little cooler than seasonably, but not nearly like what we've been having. There's our 3 hens and rooster. They like getting out on these kind of days, roaming around. And there are the ducks over there by their pen. They like to get out too, and they always go for some wet spot if they can find it. To get to where the persimmons are, we have to walk clear pretty close to the back of our property, not all the way. And there's a view of the other way up toward our house and our buildings and things. Right over there in that thicket is where we have some persimmon trees, but of course we don't know if there's anything on there anymore. It's been cold several times. I noticed this one huge Christmas tree we have back here. Well, we call them cedars, but I kind of don't think they're really cedars. Jeremiah would know what they're called, but I forget. Well, Grandma Cat came with us. I guess she probably doesn't want to miss something. I can see over in that area right there, that's where the persimmon trees are, and they are bare, so no luck on these persimmons. I wanted to show you that this is what the bark of persimmon trees looks like. It looks kind of bubbly and it's quite rough. And while we're out here, we always like to go down this particular ridge because there are some maple trees down there. I expect they probably already lost their leaves, but we have like 3 or 4 little maple trees on our property. That's all we've ever found, and we like maples a lot, so we like to admire them on a yearly basis.
I came in last night about 4:30. Lights is open on my back door where my baby's sleeping in a folding bed. She had the covers pulled around her head with a big pair of shoes sitting on the floor. I never seen a pair of shoes before. Well, I asked my baby whose shoes those be. She said the shoes must belong to me. I said no.
And then we finally find our little tiny grove of maple trees. They aren't very big, and they're pretty crowded out by like that big tree right there that's hanging over. So in a way they don't ever have any hope of doing what we'd like them to do. But what I really should do is come down here in the spring and collect some of their helicopters, if they're old enough to even make helicopters.
These maple trees have grown a lot in the last few years. They're still kind of covered with the oaks and such, but they're growing.
They're right on the edge of a sharp drop off. I don't really see any little baby maple trees growing. I would think the helicopters would drift on down the hill maybe, but Those things are so prolific on making babies that it seems like there would be some babies that we could dig up or something. Right down there is a ravine and probably a creek that has water in it most of the time, but not all the time. It drains down into a bigger creek down there in the bottom. We went to that creek in a hike that we did last fall, probably. I went with Jeremiah and his boys. I can't remember if Maya went or not. I wanted to show you, this is what the bark of a maple tree looks like. It's very different from the persimmon tree. It's a lot smoother. And it's kind of a gray color. All across here was our market garden growing patch. We planted it all in grass seed, and we're hoping we can get a good fescue stand for our neighbor to cut next year. Well, just like we had to do last year, we ended up coming up here at the edge of our pond, right at the end of the pond dam, to find some persimmons, because I don't know if we were too late back there or if they didn't make persimmons for the past 2 years, because we don't go out there during the summer when they'd be hanging on the trees, because it's always too buggy around here. Chiggers and ticks primarily, and we don't like that. This tree has a lot of persimmons on it still, so we're gonna see about getting a couple from here. Is that one ready? These
Probably.
have been really cold already a few times, so it doesn't pick off real easy, does it?
No.
Are you gonna be the guinea pig and try to taste it? One thing that concerns me about this tree right here is it's in the shade a lot, because there are trees, big trees are out here to the west of it, and so old guy's gonna give it taste. A little taste.
It's right.
Is it sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Not bitter at all?
Nope.
Okay, well, we got a lot of good persimmons on here then. Okay, I'm gonna take a seed in and see what it looks like when I open it up. In the house, I'm gonna get the seeds out of this persimmon. I'm just gonna do it by smushing it and trying to squeeze the persimmons out. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seeds in there. Now, what I've got to do is get the pulp off of these slippery little seeds, because at best they are hard to open, and the slipperiness doesn't help one little bit. So I'm going to take some water and, you know, kind of scrape it off and clean it up. Okay, I got them washed up. Now I'm going to see what I can do to get them open. And what I've done in the past is kind of shave the edge off of the seed so I can get to the place where I can see where the separation happens. Because as I already said, these things are not easy to open. And I'm kind of thinking that if I don't get along very good here, that I'm probably going to try to get it open off camera, so you don't have to see the blood and guts pour out of myself. So as soon as I get it open, I'll get back with you. Well, I skipped to the part where I almost have it open. I kind of like to open it while I'm on the camera. Now, this is weather folklore tells us that if there's a knife inside here, it's going to be a cutting, cold winter. If there's a spoon inside here, we will have a lot of snow, for the spoons for scooping. And if there's a fork in here, we will have a an easy winter. And what I see is a spoon. And it's already showing us that we've already had 2 snows this year, so I'm not surprised. And they've been predicting that we're going to have a pretty heavy snow winter like we did last year. So, well, that's not exactly what we want, but it's always nice to have a mild winter. For one reason is because we can get a lot of stuff done. Winter is the best time of year to get things done outside because you don't have the trees leafed out and the brushy stuff, the grass, the weeds to deal with, and plus it's not hot. So just for the fun of it, I thought I'd open another one, see if they agree.
I'll be thinking about you every minute that I'm gone.
Oh, there's nothing in there. I don't know what that means. There's no little thing in there. Never had that happen before. Well, I hope that's a good sign and not a bad sign. Thanks for joining me, and I hope we all have a good winter, and I hope we like what we get, whatever it is. We'll see you next time.